We are going to continue drawing today on our patterns. Even though I am not here, I apologize. I have a softball tournament all day long today. So hopefully you guys can do all right with this. Remember, when you're drawing on the graph paper, all right, make sure you have nice clean lines. All right, everything's nice and neat, nice and square. We're not using big dots. Okay, don't forget to label as I'm going through this. Okay, take your time measuring, make sure you're doing it right. If you're past this step, then you can fast forward a little bit on the video and everything else, but feel free to play it, rewind it, whatever you need to do to kind of keep up. But again, we're going to kind of move forward. Here is what your finished product should look like when it's all said and done. That's with all of our sides on here and all of our pilot holes. So this is kind of what we are working for. It looked like most of my classes had at least got side number 1 done right here. So we're going to kind of move forward from that piece. We still have to do our 4 pilot holes here that I'm going to put in now. Again, remember, our graph paper is in 1/4 inch. Okay, so 4 of the squares, all right, equals an inch. That'll kind of help you out while you are drawing. All right, so our pilot holes as we are moving through here. This first set right here, there's 4 of them. All right, they are an inch up going this way, and then they are 7/16 over. All right, so the first one, an inch, you can either measure it or know that 4 squares is an inch. So I'm starting in the lower right hand corner. I would go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an inch right there. Now I want to go to the left, 7/16. Okay, now if you take a look at your rulers here, these rulers kind of get a little confusing. All right, so if you look between 0 and 1 over here, there's a lot more marks. Okay, that's because that's measuring in 30 seconds. So each mark on here, regardless of the size, is a 32nd of an inch. So what I like to do is kind of slide over to like the 4 or 5 area, and now you can see the difference in marks. Each one of these marks is a 1/16 of an inch. We have to go 7/16. Okay, so between 4 and 5 is your half mark right there. That is 8/16. So all I do is I go to 8/16, then back 1 mark right there to that small one right there. So I'm going to put 5 on my line here. So again, it's up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going right in here. I take 5, lay it right even with my line. Okay, there's my halfway mark. That's 8/16. So I go back 1/16, and my dot is going to be right there. All right, and I can make this one a little bigger because it's a pilot hole, and we're going to drill all the way through that hole. All right, so now if you notice, I'm on the horizontal blue line, but I don't reach the vertical blue line. We have to leave it right there. All right, we don't want to move it over the blue line here because that pilot hole has to be in that certain spot. So that's the first one in the lower right hand corner. Now I'm going to move to the lower left hand corner over here. Okay, and again, I'm going to go an inch up. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my inch line. Then I'm going to go 7/16 over. All right, so again, I take my ruler, putting it on the 5 right there. 8/16 is halfway. I back it off 1 tick mark, and there is my second pilot hole. So that is 2 pilot holes. Now I got to do the top 2 corners. All right, so now again, from this corner, I'm going to go down this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over 7/16. Put my ruler on, back 1, and there's that 7/16. And then I slide over to here. There's 8, back 1, and there's that 7/16. Okay, so now I have my 4 pilot holes where they need to go. Okay, now I'm ready to move on to side 2. Okay, if I look at side 2, it's the exact same thing right here as side 1. I'm going to skip 2 squares in between. All right, so I go over here, lower right hand corner. I'm going to go over 2. 1, 2. This time make your small tick mark right there. You're going to go 4 3/4 over. So I line up my 0. 4 3/4. There's 4, 4 1/2, 4 3/4. Right there. Draw your nice straight line. Make sure you're drawing right on top of that blue line. Right there. Now you're going up 5. It's the same height as this one right here, up 5 inches. So all I'm going to do from this corner, 1, 2, right there, and then I can draw my vertical line. Slide over here. Again, 5 inches up. If you want to measure, you can, or just know it's in the same spot as this one. Connect them at the top. And now you're ready to label and put your pilot holes in. Okay, so again, when we label it, this is side number 2 now. So I'm going to write side 2. Don't forget your name. And then our arrow showing which way the grain needs to go. So I got my up arrow there. Okay, now I'm ready for my pilot holes just like this. It's the same. Okay, from this corner you're going up 1 inch and then over 7/16, which is going to be about right in there. All right, you can measure it, 7/16. Right there. Now I'm going to go over here. There's my half, back a 1/16. Sorry, my lights just went out. Okay, now I'm going to go down 1 inch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over 7/16 to right here. And then the same thing right here. All right, so there is my side number 2. Now we can move on to side number 3, which is right here. It's the same height as the other 2, but it's smaller this way. It's 3.5 inches here. Okay, so I'm going to start lower right-hand corner. Slide my paper over a little bit here. 2 blocks over. 3.5. From my starting point, puts me right there. Draw my line. Going to go up the same height, so I'm just over right there. And then connect it at the top. Now it's time to label. This is side 3, your name, and then your arrow for the grain. And now this piece has 2 pilot holes. They're down here at the bottom, and that's it. Okay, we're going to change the way we do this one. I'm going to go up 7/16 and then over 3/4. All right, so that's 3 squares. 1, 2, 3, up 7/16. Okay, so from my corner, I'm going over 1, 2, 3, and now up 7/16, which is right there. Now, if you notice, now I'm on the blue vertical line, but not on the blue horizontal line. There's 1. And now I move to the other one. 1, 2, 3. And then you can go up your 7/16. And that's it for side 3. Now we're going to put side 4 right here. We're going to start in the upper left-hand corner of side number 1. I'm going to go up 1 block. And again, it's 3.5 over. Now I bring my paper down, going up 1 block, right there, 3.5 over. Draw my line. going up 5 inches. So there's my 5 right there. Should take you all the way 1 block shy your top right there. And you can connect them at the top. Now you're ready to label and do your pilot holes. So this is side 4. Your name, your grain arrow, and now again the 2 pilot holes down at the bottom, which are 3 blocks over for 3/4 of an inch and 7/16 up. So again, I go over 3, 1, 2, 3, and now up your 7/16. Put me right there. Go to the other side, 1, 2, 3, up 7/16. Right there. And that is it for side 4. Okay, moving right along here. Now, you're ready for your lid. All right, so on your lid, right here, this is our lid. It's the same size as side 1 and side 2, except we do not have any pilot holes. In fact, we're going to write "do not drill" on our top lid. All right, so again, it is 4 3/4 across the bottom and 5 inches up. Okay, so from my lower right hand corner of side 4, I'm going to go over 2 blocks. I get my ruler. I'm going to measure over 4 3/4. Draw my line. And then you go up your 5 inches, which is the same height as this. So I'm over 2 blocks to there. Draw your line. Same deal over here. And then you can connect them at the top. And that is it for this piece. There's no pilot holes on this piece. So this is our lid. We're going to label it. Lid. Your name. The grain arrow. And then down here at the bottom, we're going to write "do not drill." So that way we don't make the mistake of drilling into that when we draw out our side 1 and side 2. We don't get them confused. So we write "do not drill" to kind of help us out right there. All right, we have 2 pieces left. Our last 2 pieces. We have the bottom for our box and then the bottom of the lid right here. Okay, they are the same size. Okay, if you look, they are 3 1/2 up and 3 1/4 over. So 3 1/2 up, 3 1/4 over. From my bottom right hand corner, I'm going to go 2 to right there. All right, now I'm going 3 1/4 to the right. So there's 3, and then there's 1/4 right there. And I draw the line. Now I'm going to go up 3 1/2. There's 3, and then there's 1/2 right there. Slide over. Make my other one the same height. And connect it at the top. And this is our bottom. So I label it bottom. And then your name. Our grain arrow. And then we're also going to write down here at the bottom, do not drill on our bottom. Now your last piece, it's the same rectangle size, okay, and this is our lid bottom here, except I have two pilot holes in it that are diagonal. A little different look here. Okay, so I have two pilot holes, one there and one there, but it's the same size rectangle as my bottom piece. So again, I'm going to slide over 2 blocks, 1, 2, right here. 3 1/4 to the right, which will take you all the way. Should be 1 block shy over here on the end. And then I'm going up the 3 1/2, which is the same height as that guy. Slide over to my other line. Finish out my top. I'm going to label this lid bottom with the green arrow there. And now I'm ready for my 2 pilot holes. Oh, and your name. Don't forget your name on that. Okay, so my 2 pilot holes are diagonal from each other. Pretty simple. From this right corner, it's 3/4, which is 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and then up 3/4, 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 blocks over, 3 blocks up. This one is the same, 3 down, 3 over. So from the corner, over 3, 1, 2, 3, up 3, 1, 2, 3, right there. And then from this corner, down 3, 1, 2, 3, over 3, 1, 2, 3. And that is it for your patterns. Okay, please do not lose this or do not damage it, otherwise you will have to recreate this, because again, we are cutting this out and gluing it onto our boards. Once you are finished, please put your rulers over on the table so that way we can get those sanitized. And these stinking lights. All right. And then if you are not finished with yesterday's virtual assignment, which is the general safety notes, you can work on those for the rest of the hour. All right. Good luck.